I quit my job, y'all. No real plan, no savings, 2 kids, and nothing really but the belief that it was just gonna have to work out. And if you're sitting on the edge of making a major decision in your life, whether you should stay, whether you should go, then this one is for you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I'm a life coach, and I empower women to be, do, and have anything that they truly desire without the guilt and knowing that it's okay to put you first. So stay to the end and see how I allowed my unshakable faith and a desire to manifest a dream life get me to the point of where I am now. So let me tell you the story and how it all came about. I was at a job that I would get up and go to, like many of you, every day, day in and day out. Not really working 9 to 5, but I did work at least an 8-hour shift. I had some flexibility, but not the flexibility that I really like. And the reason why I mentioned flexibility is because what I later came to find out is core values are so important in where you are now and where you're trying to get to. My core values are freedom, flexibility, and fun. And so when I started the job, it gave me the majority of those things. It gave me the freedom because I was able to kind of work the job how I wanted to, travel and go around to different locations and work with the population that I, at the time enjoyed working with. But it stopped being flexible. And what I know now is that anytime you're doing anything that goes against what your core values are, you're going to get some pushback. You're going to start feeling some resistance in that. So anyway, back to me leaving the job. Because it was not really serving me and giving me what I wanted, what I needed, I got to a point where I was just like, I'm done with this. I decided it was just time for me to go. I had no savings, you guys. I recently had a separation from my husband, my children's father, and he and I, were no longer together. And so I was taking care of 2 children pretty much on my own. Now, was he contributing? Yes, he was giving me money, here and there. But I was the breadwinner of my household because I was at the house taking care of the kids. And I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with getting up, going to work every day, knowing that this could be my life. And so I decided to walk away. And yes, like I mentioned, I had no savings, no money to the side, and no future job lined up. So I know a lot of you are working jobs that you go to every day and you're thinking, I can't quit because I got to pay the bills. Yeah, we all have to pay the bills, but have you ever asked yourself, can I see myself working this job day in and day out if this is the end? If this is the rest of my life, am I willing to accept that? That's where I got to the point of asking myself, can I accept this for the rest of my life? And my answer was absolutely not. So I decided I'm just going to quit. People thought I was crazy, of course, because I have 2 children to take care of, 2 mouths to feed, plus my own, a mortgage to pay. And so I kind of did a little bit of due diligence. I looked into, well, what, if I leave the job, what type of money is in my 401k plan that, I have. And I'd only been at the job for, at that point, I don't know, less than maybe 5 years. And so there was a little bit of money in there. I worked for the school system, so they would put money in the retirement plan, and then you had like this other little savings plan, which I didn't know about at the time. So when I decided to leave, I know I'm drawing this out, but I'm trying to paint the picture for you to help you understand. So stick with me. I found out that I had like $2,000 something in this account. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. That will be enough to pay my mortgage for a couple of months. I got food in the refrigerator, so today we're good. If I can take out this money, this $2,000 something, that'll pay my mortgage, and I'll be okay, and I'll figure it out later, whatever I need to do. And so went in, did the paperwork, long story short, come to find out there was this extra little savings that the county or the state, I don't know, was putting in, and I didn't even know about it. That's how little I cared about the money aspect of living life and what I was doing. I just lived life to be free and made sure that I enjoyed my life and did things that made me happy. So I find out that there's like this extra $3,000 something in this other account that they had been contributing to. And I felt like I'd hit the jackpot. So the decision for me to walk away on the $2,000 something was like, okay, I'll be okay for a month or so. But then to find out there was an extra $3,000, that was to me the universe's way of saying, see, I got you. You decided to make a decision that benefited you, that, you felt like you needed to do for yourself, and I was going to take care of you. And that was like, okay, I see how this works. And so it really just built up my faith. And so what I want you to understand is that when you make a decision to do something, no matter how drastic it seems in the moment, if you're stepping out on faith, just know that everything else is going to take care of itself. Now, am I telling you to just go and quit your job and be reckless and, not have a pot to piss in? I'm not necessarily telling you that, but I'm kind of telling you that. The only way that would be a reckless decision is if you don't believe that it's going to work out for you. And that's all it takes. If you want to manifest greatness in your life, sometimes you're going to have to make tough decisions. Sometimes you're going to have to get to a point to where you're at a crossroad and you're having to make a decision that looks like it could potentially be a disaster. But if you're feeling a pull towards it, if you're feeling drawn to it like I felt like it was just time for me to go. I was no longer happy. I wasn't being fulfilled. My core values weren't being met any longer. The flexibility, freedom, and fun. And so there was no real ending in that position for me. And if you're going to a job day in and day out and you know that you're not going to ever own the company that you work for, and that may be your goal, is to own a company. But if you can't own the company you're working for, why are you still there? And if you can't have the things that you want, if you're at this job and it's not meeting the things that are valuable to you, if it's not meeting your core values, then you're basically doomed at that point. So it's time to walk away. Would it be advisable to find something maybe in advance that you might like better? It might be, but if that's going to hold you back and if you're going to delay your plan to move forward and make a decision because you don't have something, then I don't know if I'd suggest staying and sticking around until another door opens. I would honestly advise you to follow your intuition, follow the instinct of, is it time for me to go? If you're feeling that pull towards something that's taking you in another direction, just trust that that's the universe's way of saying, I have something for you in store. You just have to trust me. And the minute you decide to just put your faith and trust in that belief, then that's when everything just kind of opens up for you. And since I walked away from that job, I was able to have an opportunity to do contract work with a company in my field, which was therapy. And that wasn't an opportunity that had presented itself while I was working in the school system in the current job that I was in. It just presented itself to me later. Someone made a call and they asked if anyone knew somebody who could be doing this, who could do this position. And it turned out they reached out to me and I was like, okay. And so I did that. And that then led to ultimately me opening up my own therapy practice. So had I not decided to follow that pull towards walking away because it was no longer serving me in who I was and where I was, because I was, worried about what could happen, if I stayed there because of that worry and allowed that to hold me back, then I would never have opened up my own therapy practice. So just take a look at different times in your life where you kind of felt fearful about making a decision. And then you decided, okay, I'm gonna make this decision. And sometimes that decision's made for you. But take a look back at those things and how they worked out for you. Just know that things typically work out for you. Sometimes you do have to kind of take a detour and go a long route, but ultimately you get to a place to where you're feeling good about where you are and you realize, oh, I went through that to get me to this. But just think if you could actually be the one to take control of that, if you could just fire yourself. Like, don't wait for someone to say you're not worthy here, you're not doing a good enough job, or we no longer need you here. Because ultimately that's what's going to end up happening. If you stay at a job that you hate, it's going to go to crap anyway. So why wait for that? Just make the decision to fire yourself and move in a direction that better serves you. I know you know that you have so much greatness inside of you. And yes, I'm talking to you because you want to walk away from this job that you're at. You want to do something different. You know you have more potential. People aren't listening to you. They're not taking your advice, not respecting your great ideas. Take those things and put them to good use somewhere else. Put it to good use to where, in a place to where it serves you. Do something on your own. Open up your own business. Become your own boss. There's so many other opportunities. You do not have to stay in a job where you no longer feel needed, valued, or wanted. Although that wasn't my position at the time, I really was just tired of the mundane, the day in, the day out, getting up and going to a job for 8 hours a day and spending my life doing something that I no longer felt passionate about. And it was just time for me to go at that point. And yes, like I said, I had kids, I had bills to pay, but I knew one, that I had food in my refrigerator and in my freezer, so that was gonna last me for at least a couple of weeks. And that's what you have to do. You have to go on where you are now. Like literally, that's what faith is about. And that's what puts you in a position, that's what sets you up for greatness, to manifest new things, is when you go off of where you are now and trust that the day that you decide to make a decision, if you're okay that day, just trust that everything is going to take care of itself tomorrow. And that's biblical, and that's spiritual, and it's just logical. So you don't have to sit there and overthink the decision. Just know that today is a good day. Today I'm okay. And tomorrow I'm going to be okay too. It's as simple as that. Just look back over your past, because we often forget that things typically work out. And worst case scenario, if you have to lean on somebody, I know everybody can think of at least one person that they have to lean on. And if you're in a position where you can't even see a way out of it, if you can't see that if the worst case scenario absolutely happened, then maybe you're not ready. If that's you and you just can't see a way out of the worst case scenario, then maybe you should put a pause on it, because your faith or your belief in yourself, in the universe, in God, is just not there yet. But I'm betting on the belief that you know that things work out for you. So I want you to go on that. Now, was this a video about quitting your job? Kinda, because I know so many of you are working in jobs that you absolutely hate, and there's no need for that. Now, am I advocating again quitting your job? Only if you believe that it will work out for you if you do. And that's where I was. I believed it and I received it, and it all worked out. And it'll work out for you too. So, ready to manifest a dream life? You can't do that in a mindset or a state of mind of feeling stuck. So if your job is one of those things that's keeping you stuck, it's time to rethink that job you're in and see how you can move forward to something that better serves you. So that was just something that was placed on my heart today, because I know that a dream life for you all sometimes seems impossible because of the job you're in, and you feel like it's holding you back and it doesn't give you the freedom to do and be what you desire to truly be. So if that's one of the things holding you back, then let's revisit it. All right, so just want to say thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them in a comment and let me know where you are. Are you in a position that you hate? Do you love your job? Do you kind of like it but really want something else? There's other ways around it besides completely quitting, but hey, if it's not going to put you in a position where you want to be, then why are you staying? Ask yourself that. All right, I'm Joanna M. Cameron. Thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.